Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to finally review a shockumentary I've been wanting to see and actually forgot about for a long time, like 27 years. Days of Fury, hosted by Vincent Price. Now, I've seen my share of shockumentaries. Shockumentaries like a documentary with shocking images. It kind of started with Mondo Kane, I think Master of the Congo Jungle did it a little bit before then. Like shocking images, the most notorious is Face of the Death, which came out when which was made in '78, but it didn't become a hit till like the late '80s. It was really strange. Or I maybe was looking for a distributor, I don't know, Gorgon Video. Well, anyways, I remember Blackest Heart Media used to sell like bootlegs back in the early '90s and stuff on VHS and stuff from Japanese Laserdisc, and they had like a whole slew of shockumentaries. Some I've seen before and I recognized. Some I did not, and it was all in Japanese. All the writing was in Japanese. Some of the voices, some of it was in Japanese, and a few were in English. And one I definitely recognized Vincent Price. So, oh man, what's this one? I didn't know what it was. And it was all in Japanese, and I kind of forgot about it. And it wasn't until like about 2-3 weeks ago, the one channel I told you about, Fat Fucks, spelled fat with 2 P's, They do a lot of horror stuff. I reviewed some movies from them before. I found out about that Night of the Beast Creatures or whatever it was. From like 5-6 months ago or whatever it was. And then, he stopped doing videos or something like that and just did music videos and stuff. But he's back, and he did Days of Fury, the Vincent Price shockumentary. I finally got to see it. I was very happy to see it. Watched it this weekend. It's about like... It shows a lot of disasters across the world and stuff like that. It has lots of historical stuff. And then, disaster, and then it kind of goes off to, like in Faces of Death, like animal, things happen to animals. It doesn't really dwell on it that much, but it's always unpleasant to watch. And stuff with people, like some assassinations and like, other stuff. It wasn't, but not nowhere near as graphic as Face of Death. But it did get graphic in some parts, so be warned. And then it goes back to disaster. It talks about pollution. This was made in 1980, and they were talking about global warming even back then. They didn't say global warming, but they said climate change and stuff like that. I really liked it. I'm glad I saw it. It's hard to find. It says it's based on some best-selling book called Doomsday, the Chronicles of Catastrophe or something like that. It's a really interesting movie. Got to see Vincent Price hosted, because some other horror actors have done, and other popular have done like narration for some of these shockumentaries. Like, I know Orson Welles did Master of the Congo Jungle, which I remember getting that, and it was kind of like an episode of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. And then I know Cameron Mitchell did some bogus one called Death is the Journey or something like that. That was a bogus one. Anton LaVey did death scenes. He was the head of the Church of Satanism. Boris Karloff did a Mondo film a long time ago called Mondo Bellardo, which I've seen a couple times. I remember watching it with Dad, and Dad said, "Shut this crap off," after about 10 minutes. But I watched the whole thing. It's a very entertaining movie. Not a it's shocking in its own way. Mondo Carne is the one that kind of started the whole thing. Back in 1960, but it was nowhere near as like Face of the Death or something like that. And then a really bizarre one was John Carradine hosted something called Journey into the Beyond, which is like a thing about supernatural but graphic shockumentary too. And it had a gimmick like a horror alert or something, make a sound, and then you close your eyes or something like that, something gross happens. And there's a couple really gross things. The one thing that really surprised me, I rented it on VHS in 93, I think. And the thing that really surprised me, that was released through Family Home Entertainment. The VHS company, that was a company that was licensed to do stuff for the Care Bears and stuff. And Tom Jones concert. Family Home Entertainment, G-rated entertainment. It was an R-rated movie and very gross in some parts. That really shocked me. A bigger shock than anything that happened in the movie. Well, the last thing at the very end was really yucky in Journey Beyond. I mean, there's some stuff that's kind of hard to watch in Days of Fury, but I mean, it's a really interesting movie, and it's like there was a couple little scenes that were recreated just filling the movie, but not like Face of Death. And there's if you look at the credits, there's a whole bunch of credits. They have a whole bunch of like thank yous to different news organizations. So these are like a lot of real footage that you get in the movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I give it an 8 out of 10 for Days of Fury. Very obscure, hard to find. Shockumentary, because I guess they made a whole bunch from back then. I've seen some. There's one about, I remember in Fort Bragg, there's one about insects I saw early in the morning, on Saturday morning before going to the chow hall. I was up there, my friend Hoppy, fellow so Hoppy, saw it too and said, boy, that was a strange movie. It was really interesting. I don't know what the name of it was. I missed the opening credits, but very bizarre. And I remember there was some like thing of the supernatural or like phenomena or something like that. I remember from Germany. People said, this is the biggest bunch of BS. But they were all cinema snobs. They were all like, whatever. But I mean, there's lots of really hard to find documentaries out there from the 60s and 70s and stuff like, you know. But no, I mean, I thought Days of Fury was good. I'm glad I finally got to see it. So I hope you liked this video, everybody. Till next time, please, take care, my legion. Vincent Price hosts... Vincent Price is what really sells it, though. But, I mean, I think he did a great job as always, you know. And this was on 1980. And then you didn't see him in... you didn't see him in that much for a while. I mean, his health was declining and stuff. But it was still... Days of Fury is still really good. So I hope you liked this video, everybody. Till next time, please, take care, my legion.